scenes of celebration, and we, as promised, will be adding to that because on Saturday the 14th of June we are getting ready for the Yoruba Village Drum Festival. And to tell us more, the Executive Director of the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, Zakiya Uzoma-Wadada, joins us again on the Now Morning Show. Always welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you and to your audience. Yes.
I am asking you before we start, how you're going? Are you ready? Because this is a jam-packed season.
I know. Good.
So much to celebrate. Good problems to have.
Yes.
In many ways.
Yes.
And one of my favorite things or ways to experience African culture would be through music. Food is high up there.
I know.
But music is pretty high up there as well. So this drum festival is going to be incredible.
Yes.
Give us a little insight into the origins, past episodes, if you will, since we have to keep pushing the levels higher.
That's right. So the Yoruba Village Drum Festival came out of a need for us to make our publics aware of this space that we have called East Dry River or Behind the Bridge.
Right.
The original, or that I will not say original because of course we had our indigenous people here before, but before it was called that, it was called the Yoruba Village. And the reason why it was called the Yoruba Village, it is because post the abolition of the slave trade, there was still effort to bring Africans illegally into the region. And the British ships would intervene, and remove, for ships that were still trying to carry on the trade, and remove Africans who were still being illegally what you would call it, trafficked, and they would then place them in, in different islands. So there was a Yoruba community, a group of persons, mainly from Yoruba village, Yoruba community on the continent, not necessarily only, that was settled in that particular area as part of that process, and therefore that whole area that we now call East Dry River, Mova, Laventille, Gonzales, Belmont, became known as the Yoruba Village. Yes,
Some history coming in.
And we see how much of, and we know a lot of our pan and, a lot of the cultural traditions, many of our cultural traditions came out of that particular community.
Right.
Yes.
So the drumming is fitting, percussion.
Yes, of course. Yes. So we wanted people to remember that history. And then the little square where we have it is still called the Yoruba Village Square. You see? So a few years ago, we did also erect a monument there in tradition in commemoration of and maybe not only commemoration, because we still have a large community of descendants of the Yoruba, and of course, the spiritual practice of the Ifa and Orisha it also came out of that particular group.
And of course, this is part of the
Pan-African Festival to commemorate Emancipation. Yes, one of the events.
One of the many events. Let's not say it like it's likely.
Yes.
Now, this particular event, though, has multiple components to it.
Definitely.
One of which that we are missing, as we were saying amongst ourselves or between ourselves, was the school element. Because what we're going to see primarily is larger groups outside of the school age.
Yes. So, yes, there are cultural groups. Albeit many of them do involve very young students, because one of the things that we have to give thanks to our the leaders of our different drumming groups, they continue to teach the drum to more and more young people.
Beautiful.
But unfortunately, again, because the time at which we do our events, which is kind of coming close to end of term, exam times, and so on, we have not been very successful in getting schools to participate. We've had one or two in the past, but it has been very challenging, But we are also very much interested in having our young people learn to play the drum. There are so many benefits from playing this particular instrument, One of the things that I admire, I don't know if you ever watch young people or any people playing the drum, their posture. You know, just the way you have to sit, the posture in playing the drum, the discipline that you learn from having, because the instrument has notes, and people figure people are sitting down and playing. No, there are notes on the drum. So you have to understand this instrument really very well. You play as part of a team, so that understanding that you are working not alone, so that team spirit is also very important. And most of the times, young people who belong to drumming groups, you know, they have this sort of, just like in a football team, you have a kind of family connection, you know. So it has a lot of value. You know, discipline, as I said, self-confidence, you know, in our children learning to play, and then that connection with self, because that drum, you know, it resonates with something within you, you know. So it's something that we want to do. We did write a proposal to have this done in all the schools, particularly starting in that community. So we are hoping that we will get the support for it, because the idea is that to have a drumming group in each of the schools, have our local people make the drums, so that we don't just want to teach them, we want them to have drums, so that they will always have the drums, and also so that the locals who make drums, they will also benefit from it, and then of course the tutors to come into the schools and teach them. So I think it's going to be really a very good project, so I hope we will get the funding for it. Yes, to make it
Sounds
happen.
like how we could look forward to it for the next couple of years.
Exactly. So then the children have these spaces to perform. They have the drum festival. They have the village every year, you know, where we can promote them. And of course, you know, then they become drummers that people can hire.
That's right.
Yes, as they grow.
A nice little ecosystem. Now, until that actually comes into fruition, tell me how this year's event is going to be different from previous.
Okay, so every year we also give an award. We use the drum festival as an opportunity to award persons within the community. So we have what we call a Keeper of the Tradition Award, and this year we the person who we have identified for that award is Iya Ayoka. She is a mother of the Orisha tradition in the community, works really very hard in her community, and so we have decided to give the award to Iya. And then we have two children from Samoa, from Success Laventille. Yes, Kayla Flanders and Jeremiah Foyle. They are two young artists, but Jeremiah is also a footballer and he's also a prefect of his school. So we try to highlight students who are doing well in their community, you know, and they received this award in recognition of the International Day for the African Child, which is actually celebrated on the 16th of June every year. You know, it is also Father's Day, the day before Father's Day, so we also want to pay tribute to all our fathers as part of the festival. But it will include, as it has all of the years, drummers from across Trinidad and Tobago. You have over 20 drumming groups who will be there. Some are drummers, some are dancers, we have chantwells, you know, but all including the drum.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great way to spend
Yes, it is.
And technically it will be pre-Father's Day.
Yes, it is a Saturday before Father's Day.
Making sure.
Yes.
So should we then put aside funds to buy tickets to send Daddy, or are we looking at a free event?
There's no money to come to the drum festival. It is free, so bring the children. Children love the drum. You love to see them, even the little ones who can't dance very well, but they shake up all their body. The drum resonates with them, you know, and everybody wants to play the drum, you know. It is an amazing event. It is, you know, it is in this square. The space is also a space that we think has a lot of spiritual energy, in the sense that it represents that space, as I said, that it symbolizes the presence of the Yoruba community, and we also use it as an opportunity to pay tribute to our ancestors.
Of course.
Yes,
so
using the drum.
On your screen now is the calendar of events, so that in addition to the drum festival, you can chart how the rest of the days will go for June. And there's virtually something almost every part of it, every day.
Yes, yes.
We are looking forward to seeing, participating, hearing, and feeling the drums.
Yes.
And of course, that means we will check in with you as the events roll out.
Definitely.
So that we can get updates
from now until the 1st of August. We are having our Pan-African Festival, TT, commemorating Emancipation. Yes.
But for now, Saturday, 14th of June, from 2 p.m., we are heading to the Yoruba Village Square in Piccadilly Street, Port of Spain, as we get ready for the Yoruba Village Drum Festival. Thank you very much for joining us, as always.
Yes, thank
and
you so
best
much,
of
sweetie.
luck, because it's going to be a great one.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We look forward to everyone coming out.
Guys, when we return, we are celebrating still. This time around, it'll be birthdays. So we'll be back after these messages, and we'll be here too.
I want me but me look and sick. We think about the future we could have, yeah. And then she talk a little talking on me ear, and it a go like, Rasta is my darling. That's all she saying to me. Yeah. She telling me say, Rasta is my darling. That's all she saying to me. You don't have to worry about